one. I gotta move this a little so I can see it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Journey TV. We are your hosts. I'm Thomas Knights Templar.
Mary Silvernail. Thank you for tuning in again.
And we'd like to introduce our guest.
Yes.
Valarie Hecht.
You can tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm a spirit photographer, Reiki master, and psychic.
There you go.
There you go.
And
And Alena.
Alena Sharma. Alena is fine. I think like many, I'm wearing many hats. I'm a QHHT level 2 practitioner. I'm holistic healer, artist, architect, and many more.
Yes, thank
There
you
you
for
go.
coming on. This is your
Thank
first
you.
time on the show, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Valarie is
Thank you.
returning. She's been on the show a couple of
Yeah.
times.
returning champion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Well-
for inviting me.
Oh, yes,
No,
thank
that-
you. So this is going to be an interesting show. These two women are absolutely wonderful artists in their own way.
In their own right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how about we start here with you, Alena, because I had met you. I was with Brian, and we met you at the expo in Edison, and that was what, about a month ago, something like a month ago, maybe a little more than that. And what happened was, when we were walking past your booth, I had noticed a picture you had up on the wall that you drew. Mm-hmm. Yes, and you do your art by pencil. Could you?
Yes,
explain?
it's a color pencils. Usually that's what I use.
Oh, okay. And then we had a whole conversation about that picture, because your work of art there looked extremely similar to the picture that we have behind us
there.
here of Ariel. And this is Tommy's and my, what would
Guardian
you say?
Archangel.
Yeah, Guardian Angel for the TV show and for
the
also
podcast.
our podcast, right. And so Ariel is very important to us. And so I purchased 2 pictures from you. Right?
Yes,
okay,
you
so
did.
I brought one, and Tommy, you have yours
Mine's
home,
is
right?
on my wall, yes.
Okay, but if Kenny, maybe if you could put up the picture that looks similar to this one, I would really appreciate it, because it's amazing how much it looks. There it is. There, now we
That's
can see it.
beautiful.
Let me
There.
look at this one second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we can see it. That's gorgeous. Why don't you tell us about that picture?
So it's very interesting how it came out. I was watching a movie, and it doesn't really matter what movie it was, but it just made me feel so good.
Okay.
I felt so elated, and for some reason I had this desire to draw. I didn't know what I'm gonna draw. I just take a piece of paper, pencils, and I started with a wiggle. And little by little that came out.
Amazing, absolutely
Yeah.
amazing, because it's very similar. And you were kind of surprised when you came in the
Yes,
studio here and saw the
absolutely. It's like very
background.
similar.
And could we see the picture again, Kenny? Would you be kind enough if you could put that up on the screen again? It's so similar.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. And so to me, I felt like I was looking at Archangel Ariel. You would have felt the same way if you were there with Brian and I.
She says to me, goes, what does this say? What does this look like to you? I said, it's Archangel Ariel.
Yeah, immediately.
Right off the bat,
Boom. Mm-hmm.
that quick. I said, where'd you get that? She told me about the whole story with you over there. I'm saying over that was directly guided for her and Brian to be there to see you.
Yes.
To meet you
Yes.
there.
I know, it's amazing how everything works, right? Like
Yes.
it works mysterious ways. Sometimes how we meet people and where we end up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit more about your art and what you do?
Sure. I mean, if we're just talking about the art, so I have several pictures. I brought several pictures with me. of my art, and some of them are just to show the concept.
That's the lotus. That's the something of life. I forgot
yes,
that. Something of life.
it
they
is.
call it. I forgot what it was.
So this is one of the things that I would use as kind of like a depiction of something, of a symbol. And if you want, I can actually tell you what it is, if I'll get there. So the symbol of the lotus itself, it's very known, right? It's kind of like going from the darkness into the light. Yeah. It's an expansion. It also creates the connection between the physicality and unmaterial things. Mm-hmm. And it's so much more. But in this particular picture, what I was using is I was inspired by Magenta Pixie's meditation, Rose Gold meditation, and her book. And in that picture, it's also a connection and union of silver and gold, mm-hmm. creating rose gold.
You know who uses that? It is online. It's the Something Rose Academy. Mm-hmm. It's a spiritual academy mm-hmm. online, and that's their symbol.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm looking at that, I'm noticing that in your artistry, you're actually showing it transparent through it because you can see the veins of the other leaves behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, usually some people just color it in and that's it. You ain't going to see that depth. You see how it is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, look at that. That's amazing.
And so the silver represents feminine, you can say, right? And the golden, it's masculine. But there is so much more depth to it.
I was just looking at this, and it was saying it's like a symbol of birth on Earth. Being
rebirth.
Not rebirth, but being born. Mm-hmm. You know, being
from the mud.
Yeah.
No mud, no lotus.
Anyway.
Beautiful. And what about you, Valarie? You have a lot of, because
let me give you that idea.
We'll take turns here, go back and forth. So, what about you, Val?
I brought, I think one picture that I really love to show you would be the cloud that looks like the hands of God.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. I think that was the last one that I sent you, Ken. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. How do you like that, Tommy?
Now, this came about at a campground. And I had been photographing any signs of God or Jesus that I could see, any spirit. And I was drawn to this picture, and it looked like the hands of God. And I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. That must be a sign. But I had no idea why. Later in the day, I'm walking around. I'm at the campground with my friends. The campsite across from us had a mother and 3 children who were living in the campground in a pop-out camper. They had nowhere else to go. So they were really in desperate need, in dire need.
That was the blessings.
So
that was the blessing. I'm getting it now.
I didn't read the sign. So what happened was the next day, my friends at the campground, someone came to attack the mother and her children.
What do you mean attack?
Your son stole something from my site and he didn't have it, whatever.
Well.
But my friends were there and they stepped in because it started to get really, scary. So my friend Rachel and my friend Karen, they stepped right in. They said, no, back up. We're protecting these people. They stepped in. And then they called me. They gave them all kinds of food and whatever they had from the campground. We came back the next day. They got me involved. We all brought stuff. I brought some cash. I handed it to the woman. I said, were you praying to God for help? Were you praying to Jesus? And she said, yes. I said, that's who's answering you. And I have a picture just like that.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard, the blessings.
The whole, there's an opening right in the middle.
Yeah.
And it looks like a crucifix. And to me, if she was praying to Jesus, I bet you she was holding a crucifix. Because the emotion and the intention will actually form in the cloud. And that's why you see
Isn't
it.
that amazing? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. This happens to Valarie all the time. Happens to Tommy a lot too. Happens to me, mostly with angels in the clouds, but
Like,
Tommy has a lot.
I
of-
get it down at the beach.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I go down there, somebody shows up. You know, most of the times it's the Blessed Mother, but sometimes Buddha showed up once. Metatron showed up a couple of times.
Isis.
Isis showed up. I have a picture of that.
Yeah.
You can see her. We were having a conversation about Isis that time. And it was winter time, and I still go down the beach every now and then when I want to clear my head or whatever it is, or clear. And I'm sitting there on this, and I'm looking down, and there's water that's running down with the snow and everything. And there's Isis in the full Egyptian regalia.
Wow.
And I'm looking at that, I'm saying, what? You know, click, 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 you know.
You showed me that picture.
On the
Yeah.
sand, right? On the sand?
On the sand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had Gabriel in the clouds, you know, down the beach. I've had angels all the time.
The water.
The,
The water.
What's kinetic energy? That's what it is. So
Strong.
what I do is
Enhances
when
that.
I bring people down to the beach, you know, if I'm going to do something for them or release something, when the water comes in, all right, with the wave, right, I'll breathe in God's energy, God's prana, and down on the way out, get rid of all the negativity, get rid of the lack, get rid of everything, get rid of it.
Wonderful.
And after I do that a few times, I'm clear. And, you know, if I got to do any praying for anybody, any healing, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pick up a stone that catches my eye, and I'll hold it in my hands, and I'll hold it right at my heart chakra. And what I'll do is I'll put all the intentions for the healing on it, and then I'll toss it into the ocean for the Blessed Mother to take and, you know, and do that. And then they get well, which is good.
That's when you're giving it away to a higher power to take care of.
That's right.
Right? What I find very interesting is we're all healers sitting here at this table, all of us, the four of us here. And what I find so interesting is the way these two ladies express through their art the creativity of the photography and the creativity of your pencil drawings comes through. The level of spirituality is supreme.
Well, saying blessing by the Father's hand,
Absolutely.
the artist's hand, the artist's hand.
Amen.
Can I just
Artisan.
say that is intuitive, like intuitive drawing, right? Because it's like you picked up on the energy that this was your timeline and kind of just like flowed right into it. It's beautiful.
This is very true, as it was prophetic.
Yes.
I don't know if you agree with that,
Well,
but
she made
I
this
really
prior.
felt
She made
prior
this
to
prior
meeting
to
me.
meeting you. This is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That was divinely.
Divine intervention.
That's what it was.
Because Brian and I, we were walking by and we said, "Oh, beautiful art and everything," but we had been walking around the expo for hours, and it was like we were almost ready to
Tell
leave.
about the phone call you gave me.
What?
Oh, Tommy, I met this lady, but
Oh, because I did.
you aren't gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. I said,
Not
okay,
gonna
okay.
believe it. And
And then
when I brought the picture
She
to
brought it to me. I
you,
just stood there and looked at it. I said, "That's beautiful."
and look at
That
the
is
rose, the rose,
The rose
gold.
gold, yeah.
I love it. And Tommy, this picture, I brought it from my office because I was telling Alena where I have this is, Valarie, you've been to my office, right over on the wall next to me here. And I have her right there. And I just, right next to my desk. I just love it. To us, we feel the interpretation we get is Ariel. But you were explaining something a little bit different to me.
So I didn't know what it was. I mean, I just knew it's something divine. I call it right now kind of like divine mother, goddess.
Yes.
It's God's light. She's holding a child. She's holding that God's light, and it's what it is. But it could be anything. It's interesting. One of the people that I met, he said, "Oh, it's you." And I kind of understand that too, in a way that we all multidimensional, and then we have aspects of each other and other things. So it could be that I am you and you are me. So in a way, yes. But it's also
the
Divine
energies
Mother
mix anyway.
and
they're
Right?
gonna mix anyway.
Exactly. Exactly.
So somebody's seeing an angel, another person is seeing a goddess, another person seeing God's light in there.
Oh, there was no doubt about that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
very
There was
this is
no
very
doubt
similar
about
to
that.
who's
No,
behind
it's
us here. See,
absolutely,
right,
it's
right
actually
there. She's in
incredible.
between us, right
Yeah.
here, Alena. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Do you have another picture that you'd like to show us, maybe?
I have many pictures. You know what? I think if you could show maybe the one, the eye and the rainbow.
You got that one, Kenny? There
There.
you go.
Not this one, but
Oh.
this one is interesting. It's kind of
Okay.
like I would call it our consciousness. An eye can represent so many different things. It's could represent a third eye, wisdom,
Yes.
but it's also a portal. It's also can represent a God source. So in this way, you can
It's
see
saying-
that there's
wait,
an
I
earth
wanna get this
inside.
right. I want to get it right. God
Um,
has his eye on the earth.
yeah,
Did you
thank
ever
goodness.
see the out in the universe? What area is that where you can actually see the eye of God through the star system? Literally,
Is that from the Hubble?
literally. No, from. Oh my goodness, I've seen that in the universe many times. Do you know
Yes.
what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Thank you. I can't remember what part of the star system that is,
can't either.
but you look at it, and what you actually see is an eye. And that's what that reminds me of. You're right, the eye of God.
Eye of God.
It's interesting, if I may add, in many meditations, I would see several eyes. Sometimes it's just one eye. In one of them, for example, it was kind of like an eye became a gateway in a way, a stargate, a portal that I walked through. In other cases, like for example, again, I'm meditating and I see eyes and eyes everywhere. So for me, it was kind of like a consciousness, different spirits that are looking over or just there with me. So an eye has a lot of symbology.
Oh, it sure does. And Kenny, can you put that picture up again? Because I would like to just express something about it.
Sure,
Okay.
that's a different one.
Wait a minute. If you could go back to the eye. Oh. Let's see. Because to me, in the middle there, the actual pupil, it looks similar to the earth.
I said
It
it looks like
is.
the earth.
It
Oh,
is
you
Earth.
did?
I said
yeah.
that. I
You
said it's
did?
God watching
I'm
over
sorry.
the earth.
Yes, the earth.
And I kind of
Oh, we
call
both
it
said the same
consciousness
thing. That's
of
so cool.
Earth. So
Yeah.
again, it's a connection between Earth and Source. It could be taken on so many different levels. It could be that the Earth has consciousness itself. We have it's a material thing, so we connected material and
You
unmaterial
looking at that
spirit.
closely?
Go
It
ahead.
looks astrological.
Yes,
Look-
it
look at-
does.
Look at the moons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
or the
does,
orbs,
doesn't it?
and look at the lines.
Yeah.
And the sun within as well. So the sun
Oh, the
is
sun
kind of
I
like
thought
in the
you
middle
said
as a
the
pupil as
sound
well.
is in as a there's sound to
See,
this?
Tommy sees what he is seeing is something that I had noticed there. It looks like the zodiac chart.
It does.
It actually does.
It does.
Okay, because of the lines, as he's saying. I mean, yeah. So everyone interprets differently, right?
Yes.
Right. Right.
Somewhat, yes. And I mean, it depends on the experience that they have, also on the knowledge. And then we all have our own things that we are more interested in, and then we have more knowledge of it. And of course, you see it more evident in whatever you're observing. So, yeah. And it's amazing to hear others' opinions on some of the pieces
yes.
that we do, right?
Yes,
A lot of
it's
our
something,
people- yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead.
something
Yeah,
just
okay.
grabs your attention and you're not quite sure what it is, but it's speaking to you.
Exactly.
And if you allow yourself to go into it and ask, what are you trying to show me? It shows it to you.
And that's what happens to you.
Yeah, yes.
See, like,
Yeah.
people just assume when I talk to them, because I've been with Mary over the years so long, that I know astrology. I tell them what I tell you. I don't know jack. And, I know what I am, but because I said, he asked me a question, I talk to her.
Aw.
If I have a question, I talk to her.
Aw.
I said, what does this mean? And then she tells me.
You go to the experts.
It's not that I don't have an interest or a liking of it. I was used to be on the fence, and then I met her, and she tells me it happens. So
Yeah, well, it isn't just that, Tommy, because it's an art. That's an art, also astrology, but it is also a science, you know? And you appreciate science so
All right,
much.
so what, we were talking one day, she says to me, and you have a trine over here, and I'm like, what?
Well, that's wonderful.
You know,
Everybody wants a trine.
That is wonderful, but now that I know what it is, but you could have said it was a Nabisco cookie. And,
Squares are hard. You want to try the aspects of astrology. But Valarie, what do you have
Oh, yeah,
there? What
we're-
do you want to show us next?
Oh, we could do, we talked about the April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse
Yes.
that went over the United States. And I was going over the information, and two of the towns the complete solar eclipse was over were called Nineveh, but there were 7 towns
That's right.
in that
Yeah,
path.
That's right,
Right.
that's right.
Tommy
All
loves
all named
Tommy loves
Nineveh.
talking
Yes.
about. Well, so do I.
All named Nineveh.
Yes.
Gee, how coincidental. You know,
So what
Oh, yeah,
that meant to me was that something big was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And
There
everybody was
an
talking
X
about it.
across the United States. Two
Yes.
different eclipses. One happened during COVID, and then the other one happened in 2017.
Yeah.
Let's try going the
Well,
different
but
direction.
first
August.
one, the first one was 2017. The second one was 2021.
Yeah.
But it's an
24.
X. Actually, you know, it's funny because when I walked past the control room before, I noticed that they had up that picture of the United States that I brought in with the X
with the X through it, yeah.
across it, and that was big across the United States. So now,
And of
why
course,
don't
the
you
crisscross was along what parallel there?
Go ahead,
I'm not saying
Tom.
it again. Last time they got me in an E. I'm not doing it.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I forgot what.
What are you going to say?
No, I don't even mention that.
You don't want to mention what?
No, because where it was along that parallel.
Okay.
Remember when they came after my leg? I'm not saying it again.
Okay, no, we're not gonna. Okay, so
okay.
go ahead, Valarie.
Well,
What-
if Kenny could show the sun picture.
Oh, look
thank
at that.
you.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you. I saw this. This was taken, it was the sun. I'm very sensitive to the sun, so if I feel something, I'll go right to the website, either NOAA or the Solar Dynamics Observatory. So I went to see what the sun was up to. And I looked at the solar hole where it's dark there, the coronal hole, and I said, that's not a coronal hole, that's a sign. He's coming, and I'm going to be ready. So I screenshotted that, and then I prepared to photograph his arrival, Jesus' arrival, and I went to my friend's house, and I took my camera and I put it on 60 frames per second video. Because the human eye can't see that
can't see
much
that fast.
information. It's not possible. So I ended up taking video, and the pictures I pulled out of it, every shape that was on that sun, there were 3 shapes. We got this one, you guys can see it, this one, and this one. All 3 shapes were on the sun, and he showed up just like this. And Kenny, if you could show this one, yes. That's the eclipse, and if you can see what looks like Jesus with wings, that's him. He's coming in, and that's what I caught for
Right
the
up on top
eclipse.
there in the gray.
He's, well, actually, he's like in a yellowish here.
No,
Yeah.
no, right above it, there's an angel.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there. I
That
see a
too,
few
yeah.
angels
This
there.
guy
don't
was
you?
They're
Yeah,
cute,
see?
Well, he's not going to be by himself.
He's not, he didn't come by himself.
No,
He
he came
had,
with his army of angels.
he had
We
solar
need them.
goddesses. He had solar deities with us, with him.
Wow.
He had Sekhmet and Amaterasu, both female goddesses, solar goddesses. And when
Interesting, right?
I picked out the frames to print up, I got Sekhmet, Amaterasu,
Right?
and
Is
Jesus.
that same one as that?
That is this one.
Let me just look at something, because I'm seeing
Go ahead.
something on that, but I'm not seeing on this.
And if you like the science behind it, there is science behind this.
Look from the bottom where the tree is.
Yes.
It's a staircase going up.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
that's
do
true,
that.
yes.
And
yeah.
he's descending.
See it?
For
Yes.
sure.
Exactly right. That's,
My good, I'm good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that before, Val?
I did, but I didn't know it was
Oh.
a staircase. I never
Yeah?
thought of it
Perfect,
like that.
Tommy.
Thank you.
Now I'm hearing Led Zeppelin in my head, thank you.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Stairway to Heaven. And Kashmir.
When I was a kid, if you couldn't play Stairway to Heaven, and you couldn't do it, you weren't a good band,
That's right.
you know?
But he told me he was coming, and he showed up,
Sure did.
and I caught it.
Very, very good, Val.
Thank you.
Very good. Boy, two amazing
Do you
women.
have any staircases?
We want a staircase to heaven.
Well, if you can find that picture of the eye that connects to the earth.
Oh, okay. Wow.
No, not this
That's
one.
the heart.
This
like
one
that
is a
one.
new earth.
I like that.
I like
Oh,
it.
with the
Oh,
heart on
New
it,
Earth.
right?
I love it.
That is the,
Beautiful.
that-
Oh, go ahead.
that is the, Earth is splitting. Okay,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
the new Earth. That's
Exactly.
the 5G and up
Yes,
the
yes.
Earth.
Exactly.
That's what
Perfect.
we're bringing in.
Right.
I'm on a roll tonight.
You sure?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, sure. Well, I have a feeling, excuse me.
Kenny,
I'm
did you
sorry.
find the other one she wants to see?
I mean, I can talk about anything, any other art pieces. It's kind of like an eye with a stem coming out of the
It's a-
ground.
Did you find it, Ken?
It's a very funny one.
It's a funny one?
It's a peculiar one.
Let me see. Let me see if maybe I hope I got that one and sent it to Kenny.
I have to tell you the science behind it.
Well, I mean, you can pick up anything and I'll describe.
Wow,
Um,
tree of life.
Yeah, this
Oh,
one,
that, I love that.
this one is,
heart rate in the
again,
middle.
is just kind of like a simple
Mhm.
tree of life. And,
That's a grounding,
yeah,
symbol of grounding. Grounding
That's
and
the
roots
one.
going up the sky
Mhm.
to God.
yeah. This one was kind of a quick one, but it was very
You were
interesting.
doodling?
Yeah. Actually, I was waiting for my son to start the soccer game.
Oh, my God. So you were outside when you were doing that?
You were
outside, yes.
Really?
I
Oh
was
my
like, let me do
goodness.
something. And it's like, okay, tree.
All right.
Yeah,
Tree
I'm
of
sending
life
this
it
to
is.
Kenny.
Yeah,
You have
but,
it?
but we know all it
Yeah, I'm
is,
trying to
right?
send
It's
it to
again.
him.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you have this ability because there's
I can't.
there's such sight in what you're drawing. Did you have the ability before you began the QHHT learning, or did it enhance?
Well, I mean, I was always curious when I was younger, like in supernatural. When I moved to United States in 1993, I think that's kind of the journey began because almost right away I met a person who became my spiritual mentor, and I became part of the spiritual school, studying different things up there. I'm not going to go into details. So that's kind of like it's how it started for most of the part. When I gave birth later on, got married, gave birth to my two sons, my focus shifted a little bit. And when they got a little older, it's kind of like got all anew. And then it was like exploded. I was just
It's a new
looking
direction.
at different
New direction with different
information,
dynamics.
workshops, classes. I took everything I was interested in.
Why don't you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the quantum hypnosis? Go ahead.
So QHHT is a quantum healing hypnosis technique. Many of you know what it is. It's basically connects to your higher self.
Yeah.
It's allowing a person to connect that greater part of you that knows everything about you. And being on all the journeys, it's basically you. That's who it is.
Yeah.
And through QHHT, I just allow people to connect
Yeah,
through
it's funny you say
imageries.
that 'cause
Yeah.
at nighttime, a lot of times, I'll either listen to a meditation, I put an earbud in, so it helps me sometimes your mind is racing too much,
Yeah.
and instead of having to go and get within and do all that, I just pop an earbud in and say, make some noise. I've been listening to Neville, of course, but I listened to Dolores Cannon. and
Yes,
this
who
is her-
created that
this is-
QHHT technique.
This is her
yeah.
special thing.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
that's what
Yeah.
she did.
And I hear her talking about that. And a lot of times, like we think about when you're doing hypnosis, sometimes a lot of the things you get like, oh wow moment because it's so simple, you should have known it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I come across that.
Mm-hmm.
I come across that,
Makes sense, yeah.
yeah.
Because really what you're connecting to is your subconscious mind, which is truly your higher self,
That's right.
you know? And also, I had read in your bio, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist.
Yes.
Okay, and Tommy is also a hypnotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was reading in your bio that you used Dolores Cannon's methods for past life regression.
No, I use QHHT
Okay.
as per Dolores Cannon.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. She, I mean, throughout the session, it's not just you connecting through to your higher self, but the higher self helps you to see and resolve something, right?
That's
And
right.
depending on the person, where they are on their journey, what are they ready for? And they always see another lifetime. It could be a past life, it could be a future lifetime, parallel lifetime, and you
Right.
understand this. But it's always something connecting to what's happening to this person at this moment. So it will help this person to resolve the issue, understand something,
Move on.
and it's amazing. Some of those journeys and lifetime experiences are
Well,
mind
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
if you go by her bio, Dolores Cannon, she had started in the 60s when none of this, it was just simple, like
Yes.
simple hypnosis.
That's right.
Mhm.
And she, there was people afraid to go there. They were afraid to regress people because they didn't know what to do. There was no standard to follow, no guidelines. And she
Yeah.
developed
She
it.
was a pioneer.
Brian
yeah.
Weiss is another one who did that.
Yeah.
She
She
did
was a
that, but she
pioneer.
was the pioneer. She was the one.
That's right, pioneer. I do a lot of past life regression.
Mhm.
And the thing is but when I do a past life regression, when I guide someone, a lot of times people think that they're going to go back and be Cleopatra
Yes.
or, whatever, or King Arthur.
You were the
And
guy
the truth
rowing
of the
on the
matter
boat.
is, the truth of the matter is then sometimes they're very surprised, right? Who or what they were or how it relates to a lifetime in the future or a life. Yeah, because whatever your higher self knows that you need at that moment.
Exactly.
So, so you and I are 100% on the same page with that. Yeah, and oh my goodness. I mean, it's so healing. Balance is karma.
Mm-hmm.
We all need that.
That's why I came to you to have it done, because I needed to know. And it was Tommy's name who actually, it's funny because I ended up being a Knights Templar in
I
that
remember.
past life.
Yeah. Did you know that? Well, I don't share.
I just told Tommy tonight
Listen,
that
I'm the one with the big blade. She carries the little petite one. You know.
And you met
I
him
had
yet?
never met him.
No.
I'd seen him on your show, and I'm like, something about him is bothering me. What is it? There's nothing wrong with this man. He's a man
Something
of
was
God.
bothering her
But
about you.
I knew
I think
it.
she loves me now. She had a knife. She was going to get me.
I'm very grateful because I knew it was my issue because the bother was inside of me. So I
Yes.
came to you for a past life regression, and I was a Knights Templar. And that was kind of like, get in there and get that past life regression. And I needed it for this lifetime.
That's good.
Yes.
It's
You've been on
amazing.
quite a healing journey.
For the past
Valerie.
7 years.
Yes, quite a healing journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came from very, very low.
But you realize
Almost
that
dead.
You've had a long, illustrious career.
I had one
Yes.
foot in the grave
Life
and the
is
other
a
on a
career,
banana
No
peel.
matter what it is you do. One foot in the grave and the other banana peel.
Yes.
That's good.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
though, astrologically, we go in 7-year cycles. So, because of the planet Uranus. So now you're saying 7 years now, right?
7 years.
Okay.
It was the weekend that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl was when I had my white light experience, my Shakti energy rise.
You're a Philly fan, that's why.
Well, I am now.
Well, there you go. I love the Phillies. You know why? Because every time they played, I don't care if they had the worst team in the league. If they are the worst, the bottom, they always win.
You know why the Eagles won this year? They were so in the spirit of God. They really, I mean, everything that they talked
I'm
about,
hearing in Italian, my mother's talking to me.
it was wonderful.
You know what she's
I'm
saying?
so happy.
What'd your mother say?
La forza dell'estino. It means the force of destiny.
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 I
Thanks,
believe
Ma.
in destiny. Do you believe in destiny?
I do. It's actually interesting. Recently, I had a conversation with my friend. We were talking about like what is destiny, what is predestined, and at the same time manifestation, what we want to achieve.
Right.
And I think the idea is if we are on the right path, in the flow of things, then it kind of emerges what you're predestined, that whatever you already created for yourself before incarnating into this lifetime, and what you want in this life, right? It kind of aligns and merges and becomes one. So it's kind of one and the same. So
We all
yes, we are
have free will.
predestined, but at the same time, if we're in the flow, that's what you wanted to have anyway.
Exactly. Preordained, but we have free will, so we can make the
Yes,
variations.
true
You
too.
can, yeah, you can,
Would you agree with that?
yes, you can vary from what it is, and you can change that destiny. You know, you can change it inadvertently by doing the wrong things, but your destiny, your path is set. You chose that path coming in, but there's detours that you can make.
Yes, I believe that too.
Okay, there's detours that you can make.
To
You know, things
learn.
happen. People say, because I chose this life and I got hit by a bus yesterday, you know. How does that happen? It happens because their life intruded on yours, onto your path. That's how these incidences occur. You're on the same type of vibrational path, you draw it. So if you're gonna be drawing the same energy you're putting out there, and being that we do the work we do, it's usually pretty good energy, okay? But there are people that don't realize, you know, I hear them, they come and say, you know, Tom, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. Keep on saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on saying that, to see what you're gonna have.
You're manifesting it.
That's right.
Right.
I never realized that. Oh,
Every
how about this one
word,
here?
Every thought.
Pray for me, but you can't help me. Then why would I pray for you?
Right. Well, this is the actual physical manifestation because we are creators. We are creators in our art. We're creators energetically. And when we have something inside of us that an intention, a feeling, we go out into the world, we project it out, and it reflects back to us,
It
whatever
presents
it is.
itself to you.
Yes,
Yes, to
Yes.
both of you in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
through art.
Interesting.
Through our
You know,
hearts.
creativity is extremely important. You know, if a person, they have done studies about this, and if a person is depressed, if they do something
Creative.
yes,
absolutely.
that it literally changes their mindset and creates a different chemistry going on to
That's
pull them out
right.
of the depression.
That's right.
So any of your creative talents, utilize them.
When I'm having those days, you know, and you know it, maybe you might see me post a song or sing a few songs or whatever it is, right? By the tone of the song is how I release that built up, you know, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's melancholia, you know, comes over, you know, something sets off a memory, triggers a memory. So that's where I get my releases, that I'll go and I'll do a few songs. And then after that, I'm back on track. It's a release. Everybody has a safety valve.
Everybody.
You know, you have your art. You know, you got something maybe on your mind. Maybe something didn't go so hot that day. You come home and you just doodling. Next thing you know, you make a Michelangelo. You know,
And that's another thing. It's like you don't really have to know how to draw, how to create like a beautiful photograph. It's all about like if you have that inner desire, or sometimes in just intention, like that therapeutic art that I do
Intention.
as well. It's just you sitting and you putting that energy, whatever it's on your mind, on a piece of paper or singing or music or whatever that is.
Or
It doesn't-
writing.
Yeah.
Right.
Even just by doodling, you can just
Manifest angels.
that's
that
right.
that too.
That's a beautiful portrait. Now, on the other hand, do you ever get, not to use Judy's word again, but impinged upon.
Oh,
Out of the
Tommy,
clear blue
Judy's
sky, you happen to have
watching
your camera with you, and you don't even know why you pulled all of a sudden taking pictures of the trees. You ever notice that when the trees are in a breeze and they're going like this and the leaves are intermingling, sometimes you see like patterns in there, or you see faces in there,
Yeah,
you know, and like you take that picture and then boom, there it is.
yeah. I think it's mirror neurons. Yeah, we kind of can see it,
Yeah.
you know, and when your third eye opens, it's stronger.
I was
So you see
in,
it.
you know Josephine. I was in Josephine's backyard. She's a medium here on the island. And we're sitting back there, and both of us, with the naked eye, I looked up at the sun. Now I'm sitting in the backyard, and here's the driveway. And I'm looking up, and the sun is right there, and I'm looking at it. Something was peculiar about it. And she was looking at it, goes, something with that sun. I took a couple of pictures of it. You know what it was?
What?
A UFO. A UFO, and I have the actual video part of the picture. You see it there? It was blue, and it went phew, right out of the scene because we recognized it, we saw it, and they knew we saw it.
Hey, how about, hey, listen, we have to talk about this. Last month's show. How about last month's show?
Well-
What presented itself right on the
Okay.
show? Valarie, did you get to see that show at all? Were you able to see that?
I saw most of it. I saw
Okay.
the picture I saw the angels in the wood. I saw about 4. I saw faces
There
in
was
the wood.
faces.
Yeah, there was.
He wasn't alone.
Yes, and then
No,
I got a
he
hit
wasn't.
later after I watched the show. I saw the picture of Ray. I didn't see while the show was on, and in that picture was the stereo system that I used to own. I used to have one like that,
Yeah, sure.
and the song I used to play on there was Sting's "Fields of Gold," and it's just I played it, and it fit the video. It fit
When-
the whole show.
The
It's
thing with
beautiful.
that picture was that was when Ray was alive. Okay, he had been gone now 12 years, according to Deanie. All right, and that picture was taken prior. So you have to look at it this way: in all that time, no one saw that
Nobody saw
Nobody
it,
saw
and
it.
it presented
because I don't think it
itself
was there.
here
It
live in the
presented itself.
studio.
Wow.
Tell them
Yeah.
how many times we have a talk about Padre Pio.
Yeah.
Boom, something happens.
Yeah, for years we've talked about Padre Pio. And what ends, because Tommy looks just like Padre Pio. And what, well, you do. And anyway, so it was a really good show last
Now,
month.
you thought you were friends with Santa
We-
Claus.
We had, but bottom line, Padre Pio had stigmata. And Tommy has also
Yeah.
had some episodes of stigmata. And Ray was what lived in Jersey City, an ordinary guy, you know, and all of a sudden he had stigmata, and people, hundreds of people
Flocked
would
to him.
line up in front of his house in Jersey City to be healed. And what we had here were 4 people that had received healings from miraculous.
Miraculous healing.
No, we're talking about miraculous healings. And what happened was, while they were showing us pictures, you know how you guys are showing us pictures here tonight? While they're showing us pictures, all of a sudden this one picture comes up, and there's Padre Pio. He formed in the wood, the literal wood on this door next to this picture
If you're
of this
watching
girl.
that show will run until
It's on
next week.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. You watch it there too.
Last
49,
show.
49 minutes in, you'll see it.
What was the name of it again? The
What?
something stigmata. What was the actual name?
I can't remember.
It was last month's. It was last month's show.
Last month's
but it's if you don't have time to watch the entire show, which I suggest that you watch the entire show, because you're going to hear these people's what happened to them, unbelievable, and then you're going to actually see it. What was it in the 49th minute?
49th minute.
49th minute. Boom, and you could see all of us. There was 6 of us here,
Dumbfounded, oh, yeah.
and we. Look, because we saw it form when Brian had put the picture up
I
on the
saw that.
screen,
As soon as you
and we
put it up.
saw it, and nobody had ever seen that before. And that picture was
Yeah.
from the early
Yeah.
2000. Yeah,
That was.
I'm sorry, I'm getting all, but this
it-
was
it-
like
it was-
amazing. Talk about a miracle.
It was a miracle, but that was also to show our audiences that miracles happen every single day.
Yes.
You know, it's a miracle you wake up in the morning. Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a miracle you made it through your day. You came home in one piece. Thank God for that. It's a miracle you have family around you that loves you, and thank God for that. Be grateful. Be grateful and be humble.
And if these miracles can happen to other people, they can happen to you, as long as you have faith. Those 4 people, tremendous faith. They
They-
all pray the rosary.
They do. And when they left here, they definitely left, like, you know, from what just happened.
We were all of us.
And there was
were.
a picture, another picture you showed, that she had taken a picture. It was on her cell phone. And it was
Yeah.
the weeping.
The oil
Yeah,
coming, down
It-
on the picture of, was that Anne, Saint Anne, or Mother Mary?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure,
I
but
think it was Saint Anne.
in the picture where the oil is coming down, if you look at that picture, the way it's like white in the middle,
Yes.
it looks like the Schumann resonance when it's really strong. You know, it's like really like high energy. So it's kind of like it was high energy coming down, like
Yeah.
right in the middle. I was like, whoa.
Well, they said that they were putting tins on the bottom, like little troughs to catch the oil, and and bottle it and give it to people. So they have an oil, an
For
anointing oil.
healing.
Yeah.
You know, and so I mean that's why Tommy and I do this show. That's why we do shows. That's why do the podcast. That's what we all do. That's why you do your art, you do your healings. That's why you do your photography and you do your healings. The reason is because to show people that yes, there is hope for you. And no matter what the situation is, no matter how dire it is, miracles happen every single
Every
day.
single day.
Look at the miracle
Yes.
that's going to be that we're celebrating if you celebrate Easter this coming Sunday, right, Tommy?
Yes.
Look at that miracle.
Yes, it is. You know. So,
Now, what else do you have
Oh,
over there?
what do you have in your bag of tricks over there?
Actually, do I have any more pictures to show, Kenny? There might be one of.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
that's
nice one.
my picture of Jesus. I was
Right there standing.
at the park. You can see the trees underneath, and that's just a beautiful cloud picture of Jesus. And I think it's perfect since Easter is coming this Sunday.
Yes.
And he,
Good call, Valarie.
yes,
Good call.
he
Yes.
rises.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Rising.
Wanted to go back there. I was looking at something.
Oh, Kenny, can you go back to that picture? Tommy wants to look at something.
You can see him standing there. He has his robe around on this side.
Yeah.
And he's like this, but look at the wing out the back
Yeah.
over there.
Because that was an angel.
Yes.
And then he came through it, and he's like, he has something in his hand, like an axe, to cut those energetic ties, to free me from that demon.
Amen.
Yes.
And look at over to the right, up the right-hand corner, you can see another angel coming in. You see angels.
It was
just-
full. It was the
Yes.
whole scene. It was a battle. That was defeating the demon at Scotland Run. That's what I call it, because it's a series of
You know
pictures.
what that might be
You
behind
see
him?
the angels coming in.
What, Tommy?
That's Michael behind him.
That's the wing.
That's Michael
There
behind
you
him.
go.
Because if you look over here, right in the, like below his torso, it looks like there's a spear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. And Michael's head would be like right behind,
behind him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
It actually, Michael with the spear on Satan, I guess it would be. Okay, that's what it seems like.
Yeah,
And he
I
broke
see
the
that.
ties. He broke the
Yeah,
ties.
and yeah, you see like movement going that way.
Boy, Valarie, you can
Yeah.
really like see his face and everything.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
I got when I get the Blessed Mother, I get her not exactly like this. You can see her colors, her blue and the white, like this. And she has her, I call it a shroud, but she's wearing that, and she always appears like maybe top to the right of the sun. You know what I mean? And when I take this picture, I was showing her, and
Yeah,
just
they're
some
amazing.
of the ones.
Amazing.
I told you about the one when we were on the bike path, me and Melissa.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
she thought she was going to fail a test,
Yeah.
and she asked me to help her. So what I
Oh, my
did
goodness.
is I called in the angels. I said, "What are you learning?" She's a nurse, What do you learn? I learned this, that, the other. I said, okay, fine. I called in the nurses of that particular field. And the angels, rather.
Yeah.
And she calls me up and she says, guess what? I said, what? She goes, I got an 87 on the test without studying. All right? So she was so happy. She says to me, Tom, you want to go for a walk? So I like to walk around the park. It's like a mile walk each lap. We did 6 laps that day. We're coming down to one long, it's about 1,000-yard runway. And a little sparrow flies over my shoulder, lands in front of me. And every time we caught up to him, he'd hop again. And I'm saying, all the way down. So I said, that's for you, right? But the next thing you know, I look up in the clouds, and there's Gabriel with his horn. And you can see him, giant size, with the horn. And she turned around and she goes, oh, my God. I said, I said, it's for you. Right?
Blew her mind, huh?
It not only blew her mind, but you know what? That helps expand your mind. It makes you know that there's so much more than
to this
if
universe.
these people, who are caught up in religious dogma and everything else like that. Not that they can't see that, but if they would come to know who they are first, then they would see that. They develop that psychic eye. They develop that eye for God.
Was there another one that you wanted to show, Alena? Before because the clock is going.
It's running down.
I have a few, whatever he wants.
Okay, please explain that.
Okay.
Look at that.
So this one I was just trying to show that within our heart is the whole universe.
Yes.
It's projecting.
I love that.
But you know what I just saw?
And in one of the times,
I love that.
for the longest time, I had
Okay, let's finish it.
different visions, and I could literally see in my heart that the whole universe, the whole cosmos,
Well, the
and
whole universe,
everything.
you come out of your heart. That's where you come out of.
Yes.
Out of your heart
Yes.
chakra.
And
But-
so that's what I was trying to show, that your heart is
Gorgeous.
a portal. It's like
I was just going to say it to myself. It's like, oh, wow, look, spiritual journey. I said, she put that in there for us. I forgot I forgot that's our logo.
I know. Alena, I love your art.
Yeah.
I love it, I love it, I love it. Is there one more maybe that, Ken, that you didn't show of Alena's?
And you know what it is? It's getting the brain out of the way so that the heart can take
That's
over.
right.
Look at this. Could you explain that?
so this one, like I think we briefly saw it. It's a new Earth.
New
Like
Earth,
you were
okay.
saying, like yes,
Hey, you know
we
what
are
I'm hearing now in my
splitting.
head?
It's yes, we are.
You ready for this?
What?
I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. And that's what I'm hearing right now. The song I'm hearing.
That's what it is.
It's beautiful.
It's harmonizing now.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you ladies, you're very, very blessed. Very, very, very blessed. Beautiful work. Is there something else about you that you would like to add about the work that you do, or?
Maybe somebody might like to know about what you do if you do stuff here or
they
wherever.
they can contact us at the
here
end
at the
of
studio.
the show.
But we'll, you know.
That's what happens. They contact us
Right.
in email at the end of the show, and then we forward it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So yes, I created 2 websites. One is specifically for QHHT, and another one is including everything. It has QHHT, it has therapeutic art, it has energy healing, retreats, everything that I do, including some art as
Busy,
well.
busy, busy
Yeah.
lady.
But I think, like many of us,
Yes.
for the longest time, I felt that calling with
Well, I
things,
got something for
right?
you.
So
I'm getting something for
we
you
are
right now.
here on, for
Okay.
a purpose. We want to share. I need to do something.
Our
Okay.
soul's
Yes.
With
purpose.
us. Yes.
I'm going to tell
Valarie.
you, right, as soon as you started saying, I want, they said soul portraits.
Oh,
You're not the first one who said it.
You have to do
Very
that.
good,
No, it's not a
Tommy.
matter of, you have to do it. You have to do it. When
feel
they
you
come
good.
like that and they're telling me, that's channel for you.
Maybe, perhaps that's why I noticed this picture at the expo, and why then I had invited you here
so
for
you could get that
Tommy's
message.
and my show. Yeah,
We got this
Beautiful.
many.
yeah. What about you, Valarie?
Quick.
What did you want to know?
We want to know whatever you'd like to help. Tell us.
I do want to tell you that there is science behind this, and if you want to check it out for yourself, look up Cymatics, Cymatics, and that's the science of water and how it holds information. And also quantum physics. If you wanted to look up on YouTube, there is an animated video of quantum physics double slit experiment, and it will help explain how we manifest into the physical world with our energy, and this is what we're doing. And
Beautiful,
That's right.
right?
That's
bringing
right.
it on.
This is what's happening. Beautiful.
Okay. Chris, how many we
Okay.
got? This many?
I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, do it quick, because we might be out of this many.
Well, actually, two.
We
2
got two. We
minutes.
got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
All right. I'd like to thank our guest, returning champion.
Is there a grand prize?
And our new guest on our show.
Yes,
Thank
Alena.
you. Thank you.
You'll have
Okay,
to come on
and
again.
you're welcome
It's
to
a
come back,
pleasure,
both of you.
yeah.
This is very
Thank you very
interesting.
much.
I like anything that's, especially with the talent of doing stuff
It's
like that.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
to share,
Thank
for
you.
you ladies to share this with the audience is just, it's divine.
Yes,
That's right.
it is.
Divine.
Thank you.
So the next time you pick up a
Thank you.
piece of scrap paper and you're doodling, take a good look. You never know.
Yeah, it's true. You never know.
never know.
You never. Well, that's also automatic writing, and I feel that your art is similar to automatic writing.
art.
You're
Sometimes,
Yes,
Art is
yes,
sort of
it
automatic
is, yes.
writing.
Right.
A channeling, you could call it, right?
Yeah,
That's
channeling.
basically what
Yes.
it is, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you sit down and you just,
Comes
what
right
is my
through your
message,
brain.
right?
I agree
So,
with Tommy
yeah.
though about the soul portraits.
Soul portraits, you gotta be doing
Oh,
that.
do it, do it, do
Oh, I would
it.
love
You
to
gotta
see
do
that.
it, just do yourself
Yeah.
hypnosis, get yourself in a meditative thing. Look at a person, see his soul or her soul, and paint it or draw it.
I know what
Heart
it is.
to
It's,
heart.
it's so funny that you're not the first person recently told me that.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
If
there
you
you
heard it
go.
from me, it's
There
good.
you go.
There are no
All right, we gotta
coincidences.
wind this up.
Wrap it up.
All right. If you want any information on these lovely ladies that we have here tonight, contact us here at the studio at our email, and we'll get that information right out to you. If you'd like to come here, be a studio guest, let us know on the same email thing. If you're within the tri-state area, you're able to make it, that'll be fine. Give us your names, and we'll have you come and sit in our audience. All right? Good night, everyone.
Good night. Happy Easter.
Happy
Blessed
Easter.
Passover. Thank you. Thank you for watching.